of a Toyota LandCruiser Prado 2002 model year. It has a 1 kd FTV engine, which is a 3-liter first generation common rail diesel engine. The complaint is it's running very poorly. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. The engine is shaking a lot. I'm having a problem with communicating with my diagnostic tool. Things will be connected up. Data. Kuna all in data. And it's running very poorly. It has a very hard start. Sometimes it won't run. Oh, I seem to be having a communication issue with my diagnostic tool. I don't know why. Everything looks set up properly. This is my in. I seem to have communication now, and I'll try reading records if I can find any diagnostic codes. Oh, now it's saying the VCI is not there. A moment ago, it was. Do I have an issue with the cable? Maybe I have a loose cable. We'll test the VCI again. I think my USB cable is a problem, because every time I move the laptop around, I begin getting those bad communication or no communication messages. So while I'm waiting for the laptop to charge up, laptop went flat, I decided to come and do some basic checks up front. First of all, I'm interested in the injector resistances. I've already set up my multimeter here and connected the black bit to the common wire for all the injectors, and I went testing the injectors one by one just for resistance. Injector number 1 the circuit for injector number 1 is reading around 7.5 ohms. I'm not so sure what the right figure should be, but consider that there is resistance, and because I'm testing here the injector driver unit, there is resistance in the wiring from here all the way to the injector, and then there is resistance in the injector. So I'm measuring the resistance in both the wires and the injector right here, and I'm getting about 7.2 ohms for injector number 1. I'm getting 6.6 ohms for injector number 2. I'm redoing that. The common lead was a bit loose. Yeah, it comes back to 6.5 ohms. Injector number 3, 6.6 ohms again. Yeah, 6.6. Injector number 4 gives me 3.5 ohms. Let's do this again, especially for number 1. If this is true, I have to read up on the in the repair manual, find out what the ideal resistance should be. But it looks like this is normal. Number 4 is normal. The others are a little bit high, like twice the resistance. That should be normal. If I remember what I've read in the past, but I have to double check that. I'm seeing an issue with 3 injectors. If I didn't know any better, you would think, if you didn't know any better, you would think the 3 injectors are fine. It's the number 4 that's not fine. But if I remember from previous work I've done on a similar vehicle, I think the 3 point whatever ohms is more than normal. The others seem not to be that good. I'm going back to injector number 1. Injector number 2. 6.6 ohms. Number 3, 6.6 ohms. And number 4, 3.6, 3.5 ohms. I think we have an issue there, right there. Either 3 injectors are bad, 1, 2, 3 are bad, or I don't want to misspeak here, or it could be the number 4 is bad. Either way, that would bring an imbalance in the RPM speeds, and it could be the reason why this engine is shaky in the way it runs. It runs, but in a very shaky way, and it's smoking a lot in the back. And Ivan told me he saw a code P1226. I wanted to verify that, but unfortunately my laptop, the battery went flat. So I'm still going to do that. Check for the fault codes again once my laptop is charged up, just to verify what he found. But my next step is I think to use my portable oscilloscope to see what the voltages are like on the injector control wires. And now that we've noticed that injector number 4 is different from the other 3, we shall be looking out for this voltage waveform, see what the difference is between it and the others. Okay, I'll crank the engine up and begin testing the injectors on the oscilloscope. That is injector number 4. I want to spread the signal around a bit. I can see spiking. I'm not going to go into the detailed image for now, but I can see getting a good feedback spike. Injector number 3. I'm missing some detail on some of these injectors. Okay, it looks like we have a pilot injection and the main injection. The waveform looks good to me. That looks almost correct to me. Injector number 3. Now we inject number 2. That also looks good to me. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but that's what we're looking like. The waveforms are passing so quickly, but I'm looking at the spike, and then what happens after the spike. It keeps switching between two waveforms very quickly, and you have to be very observant to catch it. But this second injector is also looking good to me, injector number 2. I'm going back to injector number 4. Injector number 4 doesn't really look like the other. Injector number 4 doesn't look like it has that pinto hump. It looks like the injector opens, but it's given a signal to open. But I think it looks like it's stuck. Could be stuck open or closed, I'm not sure yet. But it looks like it is stuck. And could be the reason why we have a lot of smoke in the back. Injector number 4 could be looks stuck according to this. Looks stuck open. I'm going to go back to injector number 1, which I think was the best, so that you see the difference in waveform. I don't know if you can catch the waveform with the pinto hump. It keeps coming and going. But it's there, right there. It keeps coming and going. Right there, you see that? The power one, the power spike, and what happens afterwards. There is even a shorter one for the silent injection, I think. there. There. Injector number 1 is good. I'm going back to injector number 4. Now you have to understand the limitations of this small oscilloscope. The screen is not big enough, so it can leave out some of the details and lead you down a wrong diagnostic path. You may think there is a spike you're not seeing, like here, there. There are spikes which are missing, but probably not because the spikes are not there, but because the oscilloscope can't very quickly put them on the screen. So I think I'll need the big oscilloscope to show you this more clearly. I'm not seeing any way of people harm. Back to number 1. I think you can do it. Now, before I take the oscilloscope, I'm going to check on the signal line, the feedback signal line going back to the ECM, which confirms to the ECM that the particular injector has fired when commanded. We are now looking at feedback signals. I think the timing, I have to change the timing. Feedback signal. Coming to the ECM, rather to the injector driver unit from the ECM and going back. Confirmation signal. That's what I'm checking on all the 5 lines that we actually have signals. So that is the first wire. I'm going on the second one. Second wire. There are signals of some sort. That's what I want to see. On the third wire too. Good. And the fourth wire, that is the fourth wire, signals. And on the fifth wire, just one, I think there are fewer signals on that. So there are signals on all the 5 wires. Now, there is a difference in the signal for the fifth wire, because this is the wire that the engine control module uses to get signals, feedback signals back from the injector driver unit. So they are high and they are being grounded by, the voltage is high and it's being grounded by the injector driver unit to make the signals. Whereas the first 4 wires, the voltage was low and it was being pulled up by the engine control module to make signals to the EDU to fire specific injectors. I think you can see the difference in those signals. Right, I think I'll need to bring out the bigger oscilloscope because it has a bigger screen. I use the laptop so I can really zoom in on the injector voltage waveform for injector number 4. I want to compare injector number 4 and 1. I'm taking 1 as the good injector, 4 as the bad injector. Okay, the signal is looking a bit funny, but all I see is 2 injections for every stroke of the of that particular cylinder firing. There is a pilot and a main injection. I'm going to go to injector number 4 now. That was injector number 1. Okay, I decided to take out injector number 2 as well. Doesn't look very different from injector number 1. I'm going to go to number 3 now. That too doesn't look very different from injector number 1. Now let's see what injector number 4 looks like. That's number 3. Injector number 4. Looks a bit choppy there. Just want to be sure. Let me go back to number 1. Yeah, the choppiness here, down here, has kind of disappeared. Yeah, the choppiness after the second spike, the first and second spike actually, has disappeared. Let me go back to number 4 and see if that comes back. Right there. You see that? That. Is that an issue? Could be. I'm going to check all the other injectors now, 2 and 3, just to check that they don't have that choppiness. It could be our issue. Number 3, no choppiness. It's there, but very little. That's number 2. Number 2 is looking really weird now. Now that's more like the signal I expected. Yes, that's more like the signal I expected. That's more like what I was expecting to see. Now that's more of the signal that I wanted to see. I'm going to number 1 now. Oh, that doesn't look really like what I expected. That's on injector number 1. Now, I have a feeling that I mixed up the wiring on the EDU, the wire numbers on the EDU. I'm seeing one voltage waveform that is making sense to me, and I'm seeing 3 that are really not making sense to me, all over the place. One with hashes on the 4th wire. So I'm thinking I have right now, I'm thinking I have 1 good injector and 3 bad ones. It could be that bad. I'm going to go back to the, because that's the last injector, which I thought was number 1. But the second last injector, which I thought was number 2, turned out to be a good one. And I had the listen, try to follow me here. I had 3 injectors when I was checking for the resistance. I had 3 injectors with about 6.6 ohms and one with 3.6. Now, I could have got the wiring muddled up when I proceeded, but I'm seeing 3 bad waveforms and what looks like 1 good one. On 3 bad waveforms on 3 injectors and what looks like a good waveform on 1 injector. So I think the one with the lower resistance, which I thought was injector number 4, is the one that's giving me the good, what I think is the good waveform. I'm going to go back to that injector, which on the EDU it is the second control wire, but it might well be for injector number 4. Let me do this again. Injector control wire, number 1. No hatches. Number 2, no hatches here. Number 3, a few hatches, but looks like the others. Now, number 4, plenty of hatches. Now, remember a while ago I had what I thought was a good waveform? It has worked out on me. I can't see it. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the injector ramp pattern alongside these voltage wave pattern next, because I'm getting a little confused here. I saw something that looked like like what I expected to see. It has now worked out on me. All the injectors are looking the same, except this one, it has some hatches toward the end. As the long upward ramp starts, it has more hashes than the other injector. Okay, now that the time base and maybe the time things here. For the current waveform, so the current ramp waveform, I'm connected on the injector driver module ground, so I should be able to see the activity for the current consumption for all the injectors at the same time. Now, what is puzzling me is that for every single, there are 4 injector control wires, but for every single one of them, when I change the pin to the oscilloscope from one injector control wire to the next, I still see the same image. The current pattern tell me the injectors are not that badly off. You can see it's a pick and hold design. The pilot and the main injection. Now, injection per stroke, pilot, main injection, and you can see the voltage pattern there. The computer trying to control them. Now, the laptop battery is going down, but I'm doing this is injector, the control wire for injector number 1. I'm going to change it to injector number 2, and you will notice that the pattern will remain the same. What I expected was to see 4 current ramp, but I expect when I'm on one control wire for one particular injector, I expect to see only one and then 3 missing, then the one again. But I'm seeing all 4 of them at the same time on each and every injector control wire. Number 2. The number 2 area, that is number 3. You can see the voltage waveform for the injector control on number 3 are still matching, lining up with each and every current pattern waveform. Number 4 there. Up to number 1. What I'm thinking right now, I think my pin is a bit loose. I'm going to push it back in again. What I'm thinking right now is that this injector, okay. What I'm thinking right now is the injector driver unit is controlling all 4 injectors at the same time, every time, in parallel. It is firing all 4 injectors. When it is supposed to fire one injector, it is firing all it's firing the other 3 as well at the same time. And that's why we are seeing a lot of smoke. I think I doubt this is a short. I doubt this is a short in the injector control wire. If it is there, then it is internal to the injector driver unit. And I'm also going to go back to the signal wires from the engine control module in the injector driver unit to check that the injector control module is not receiving injector firing signal from the engine control module when it shouldn't. Okay, what I'm doing now is confirming the instructions from the engine control module to the EDU to fire injectors number 2 and 3. And you can see they are kind of staggered. So that's what I was expecting to see. I'm trying to work out where the fault I saw earlier is lying. Injector 2 and 3 are staggered, so that looks good to me. Although I'm seeing some like patches, one of which is lining up with the I think that's not important for now. All I can say is the signal from the ECN to the EDU to fire injectors 2 and 3 are staggered, and that's what I wanted to see. I'm going to go to injectors 1 and 4 now. Okay, that is now injectors 1 and 4. They are also staggered. In fact, the gap between them is even bigger than the one between 2 and 3. So that's kind of fine to me. My oscilloscope is a 2-channel oscilloscope. I wish I had a 4-channel oscilloscope. I would be able to see all of them at the same time. I've had to check 2 at a time, and they all look staggered, so that looks fine to me. I'm now going to go and look and have a look. That tells me the engine control module is doing the right thing. But now I'm going to look again at the voltage waveforms for a pair of injectors each. Remember, before I was just looking at one. Now I want to look at any pair of injectors, say 2 and 3 and 1 and 4, and check if any of their signals are lining up. They shouldn't line up. I think you can see right away, this is injector number 2 and 4. 2 and 4, the injector firing events are lining up. Now that shouldn't be happening. This is wrong. I'm going to check the injector firing events for injectors 1 and 3 now, and compare them too. This was injectors 2 and 4. Okay, that's the injectors 1 and 3 now. You can see they're also lined up. Once again, I wish I had a 4-channel oscilloscope. I think all of them are firing at the same time, and you'd be able to see it, all 4 lined up. Clearly this is wrong. The injectors are firing when they shouldn't be. In fact, they are overworked, because it means each injector is firing 4 times more than it should be. Clearly we have an issue with the injector driver unit or its circuitry, or the circuitry from the engine control, rather from the injector driver module to the injectors. I'm going to verify that I don't have any shorts in those circuits. If I don't have any shorts on the circuitry from the injector driver unit to each individual injector, then it means the injector driver module is a problem. Okay, guys, I've realized I spoke a bit earlier about one injector being having less resistance, specifically injector 4 having less resistance than all the other 3 injectors, and I've discovered it because I came back to check for shorts in the harness from the injector driver unit to the injector, and I had a look at the wiring diagram again. What got me mixed up is there are 5 red wires. Now, one of the red wires is common to all the injectors, it gives them power. The other 4 are control wires from the injector control module. As you can see, there are all 5 red wires there. I got mixed up with those wires, but now I've figured out the right sequence, and I came to first of all, I wanted to prove that the injector driver module is getting good power from the battery with the key on, engine off, and also that its ground is good and it's not messing the EDU up. I'll show you that first. This black wire, this one here, the EDU power. You can see the Tesla lights up very brightly, so the EDU with the key on gets good power from the battery. Now I also need to prove its ground is good, and that's on the ground wire here. So when I touch my Tesla, the tip of my Tesla on the ground wire, you can see it lights up. So the EDU has good power and ground. So the next thing I went for is to look for a short in the harness from injector driver to the injectors to make sure none of the injector control wires is shorted with each other. So that's when I tried the wiring diagram and I discovered this is a common this lower bottom wire. It is common to all, so it gives them battery power or EDU power. And now checking for resistance. This is injector 1. I don't know if you can see there. That's for injector 1. You get 3.4 ohms. That's good. Injector 2, 3.4 ohms. That's good. Injector 3. 3.5 ohms. 3.4. Injector 4. 3.4 ohms. So all injectors have the same resistance, meaning their coils are good. And now I want to check for shorts between them without taking the engine, the top of the engine off. I'm quite hungry, I need to go for lunch. I don't have the time to take that off. So if I don't have any shorts, I've figured I can still check for short circuits. If I don't have any shorts between the wires, I'm going to connect, say, the injector control wire for, say, injector 1 with that for injectors 2, 3, and 4, and I should see about 6.8 ohms, because I will now have two injectors in series. That's what I'm doing. Injector 4 versus control wire injector 4 and control wire injector 3 has 6.8 ohms. Injector 4 versus injector 2, 6.8 ohms. injector 4 versus injector 1. 6.8 ohms. And I move my pin to injector 2 now. Injector 2 versus injector 4. I have 6.8 ohms. 2 versus 3. 6.8 ohms. Now I want to check 3 and 4. 3 versus 4. 6.8 ohms. So without taking the top off, after working out the resistance of the good injector, I can tell you I don't have any shorts in the harness. It's looking like a bad injector driver unit. I've had, this is the second one I'm dealing with this week. 2 or 3 days ago, I dealt with another one. It was also a Toyota, this time a petrol engine. The Toyota 2001 Toyota Noah. This here is a 2002 Toyota LandCruiser Prado. So I'm seeing 2 injector driver units on different cars, different models, but from the same manufacturer in the same week. What are the odds of that? Okay, my laptop finally charged up again, and back to read the codes after all the work I've done. I'm just reading the codes now. Okay, I have P1226. It says it's unknown. Probably my software version doesn't include the code description for Toyota for that code, but I've done my homework already. I've gone to the manufacturer repair manual, and that code is related to the fueling system on the car. Specifically, I think the computer, the engine control module, is complaining about the signal it's seeing on the fuel pressure rail. The fuel pressure rail, of course, has data. It's giving a good, okay, not good, but at least it's giving plausible pressure readings, which I'm going to attempt to read again. But what I'm going to do now is try to erase this code, because I know it's going to come back from the way from the Lumpy way the vehicle is running. So I've erased the code, and I'm going to attempt to run the engine again and read some data. Okay. Engine is now running. Check engine light is gone, but it's running in a very lumpy way. I'm going to have a look at some data now. So let's see what I can control. I can control the EGR. I can't control the injectors individually. So, and maybe the solenoids in the gearbox, I can control those using this software. But I was interested in having a look at the I'm trying to control the individual injectors to check if there is any difference in RPM, but I can't do that. So I'm going to go to looking at data. That sucks, because I know I can do it on some cars like the Mitsubishi. Okay, custom data list. I want to look at the okay, I want to look at the rail pressure. I also want to look at the correction. Is this data for correction? For injector correction values? Okay. Oh, now I see something interesting. These figures are out of spec. The repair manual says they shouldn't exceed 5, rather 3. I think it said 3. No, normal is 3 cubic millimeter per revolution, and 4 positive or negative is excessive. Now I'm seeing a positive 5. It looks like the correction for injectors 1 and 4 is similar. 2 and 4 is dissimilar. In fact, they are positive. 1 and 4 are negative. 2 and 3 are positive. But in any case, whether positive or negative, they are all out of range. So this is all very interesting. I don't know which direction I take now. After all the work I've done, I'm realizing before I went back and before I left the vehicle to go and pick the laptop from the charging spot, I was thinking I'd seen some excessive hashes, which I'll explain later on. I'd seen some hashes like bad grounds on the engine control module. You remember when I was viewing the waveforms for the signals from the engine control module to the driver for the injector driver unit, I could see signals that were staggered, but in between those signals I saw what looked like hashes, and I ignored them at the time because I thought, well, it's kind of feedback. I know it's feedback from the on the ground wire from the computer sending those signals to other wires, and you can see the feedback on the other injector control control signal wires. And I'm thinking maybe the injector driver module is too sensitive to those hashes, and the problem on this car could actually be bad grounds on the engine control module. I'm tired, I'm hungry, I want to go home, but I've left instruction with Ivan to have all the computer grounds, all the module grounds on this vehicle looked up and cleaned up. But this, seeing this, I'm not so sure if it is going to change the direction of my investigation now. I mean, we need to prove those grounds are good, and the engine control module grounds are good. and then maybe we can take more interest in this. This is what you're seeing on the screen. That's showing me we have an engine that is firing the injectors out of spec, but that on its own doesn't stop me from investigating the bad engine computer grounds. So what I think are bad engine control module grounds. So I'm going to show Ivan this because this is interesting, and then I'll go home. Then he'll tell me what happens after he is cleaning the ground. Yeah, as an afterthought, the firing order for this engine I've been told is 1, 3, 4, 2. Injector 1 fires first, then 3, then 4, then 2. Now when you look at this, -5, the next injector in the firing order is 4, is 3, and its correction is 4. So I'm thinking maybe this one is trying to cancel out this one, and then these 2, because they follow each other, 2 and 4, maybe they are also trying to cancel each other out. Either way, let's look at the grounds first at this point, because I've obviously seen an issue with the injector driver commanding all injectors to fire at the same time 4 times with each engine rotation. So we need to check the ground first. This was an afterthought that I wanted to share. So before I go, I also want to look at the fuel pressure graph, fuel pressure sensor data graph, especially when I rev the engine up. I know it's most likely going to turn on the check engine light and throw the P1226 once again, but I'm interested in seeing how the fuel pressure responds to higher RPMs. The check engine light has just gone on. See that? And the engine is now in fail-safe mode. However hard I kick the gas pedal down, the RPMs are not shooting up anymore like they did just a while back. So the code sets every time the RPMs go up. I think because the engine control module is not happy with the fuel rail pressure sensor data it is seeing. If we go back to read the codes, oh, engine has shut off, but the codes are there anyway. Engine has just shut off. It went into fail-safe mode for like a minute and has just gone off, and we have our P1226 back. Okay, on to grounds next.